All right, let's get down to business. Hi guys, I'm Janasia. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're not new here, welcome back. So this video is long overdue. I've been kind of procrastinating on making this video, kind of not. I've just been busy, I've been tired. But yeah, this video was supposed to have been recorded, been out. But I got some motivation today, so we're gonna get her done. Obviously, you know what this video is. I'm here to give you what you're here for. We're gonna do some nursing Q&As. So I had put a poll on my nursing page and asked you guys to send some questions in that you wanted me to answer. So I'm gonna go through like the most asked ones and give you guys my intake on it. Okay, let me go to my notes because there was quite a there. I'm gonna lie, you guys had so many questions. Like I was shocked, honestly shocked. Now I'm gonna try to answer as many as I can, but like I said, these ones were kind of the ones that were most asked. Okay, first question: what made you want to become a nurse? So I always had this inkling that I wanted to help people or just work in healthcare. Ever since I was little, I really enjoyed being in the hospital, which is, you know, weird. What kid wants to be in the hospital? No one wants to be in the hospital. But I did. I thought going to the hospital was like fun. I loved it there. And originally I wanted to be a doctor. But that's just way too much school for me. I wasn't willing to have that much of a commitment. And so I went with nursing. That was like the next best thing for me. And I'm glad that I did it. I am debating on if I want to go for my nurse practitioner. We shall see. How did you know what type of nurse you wanted to be? I always knew that I wanted to work with little kids, just because I really enjoyed doing that growing up. Like I've always really loved babies. I loved like babysitting and playing house and like, you know, all that type of stuff. And in elementary school, I wanted to be a teacher for a little bit. So, and then I did a rotation, I did a clinical rotation on a NICU floor and I fell in love with it. Like I knew, like with babies, with kids is where I wanted to be. I did not want to be with adults. And so some way, somehow, I was going to make my way to being a PD nurse or baby nurse. Okay, so someone asked, how did you study for your TEAS test? If you don't know what a TEAS test is, it's like a test you have to take that's like, no, I don't want to say basic knowledge, but like a base of knowledge that you should have when you graduate like high school, kind of, I want to say, because I took mine in high school. Like it was a requirement for us to take it in high school. And I've always done really good in school. Well, I've always done really good. Let me not say that because nursing school is hard. I was a really good student in high school. Like school came easy to me. And taking the TEAS was a requirement for us to apply to colleges. Where I was from, I'm from Massachusetts, and so that was a requirement from us. I'm not sure where you guys live or what your requirements are, but it's a requirement for us. And so I took the TEAS while I was still in high school, so all the information was really fresh in my mind. So I honestly didn't study for it. So yeah, I know that there are materials and things that you can get from like Barnes and Nobles or just online that you can use to study, but me personally, I did not study for my TEAS test. What route did you take? As in going to a 4-year or going to a 2-year first? So the route that I took, I went to an accelerated nursing program where I got my associate's degree. And then after that, I started working as a nurse, and while I was in my first year of nursing, I went back to school and I got my bachelor's degree. Now, I decided to take that route because I wanted to hurry up and like work as a nurse. I didn't want to like be waiting around in school for a long time, because although I am good at school when I try to be, I do not enjoy school all the time, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to hurry up and get out of there and have my big girl job and make this big girl money. So I took the fastest route that I could, got my associates, and I think the route that I took really works for me. Here in Florida, honestly, the pay is not that much of a difference if you have your associates or if you have your bachelor's, and you're gonna get hired regardless. Like, it's healthcare. Nurses are needed. Like, for example, there was like a manager position at my job right now, and they interviewed someone who only has their associate's degree. Girl, it does not matter. The opportunities are there. Whether you have your associates, your LPN, bachelor's, it's just more so based on what you're gonna end up wanting to do in the long run. So me, I always knew that I wanted my bachelor's just because I just want it. Like, that was just a goal of mine. I just wanted to say that I had my bachelor's degree. It was just something that I felt like I needed. And I always knew that at some point I was gonna want to continue my education, whether it be going to NP school, or who knows, if I stop nursing altogether at some point, I still have a bachelor's degree. You know what I'm saying? So I can go and do like other categories or things. What were your best study methods going into your first semester of nursing? So honestly, studying is really hard for me. Figuring out what worked for me was really hard because, like I said, when I was in high school, everything came pretty easy. So having to actually come up with a study plan and like really work to remember things was a struggle. So and I'm really a hands-on learner, so it was difficult. So what works for me were things like mnemonics, so like little pictures or little sayings that help you remember things. That helped me a lot. I would study with like people at school. Yeah, it takes a village. So you can try to do nursing school all by yourself. I just feel like it makes it way harder because I tried to do it by myself as well. But trust me, the village helps so much. You want a village. You want to connect with your peers, with whoever, to help you study. I was having my mama help me study. I was having my boyfriend at the time help me study. Everybody was helping me study, okay? Also, I would take notes in class. I would save all my PowerPoints. Anything that the teacher would repetitively say, highlighted it. I use a lot of highlighters to highlight just key information, and I would go over that key information. And anything that I didn't understand, I would just research and go into more depth about until I understood what was going on. Some good resources, I'm pretty sure everyone knows, what's her name? The nurse that wears the purple scrubs on YouTube. I gotta look up her name. Oh, she's literally called a registered nurse RN. This lady right here. If you're not watching, oh, that was a bad video. Anyways, if you're not watching Registered Nurse RN, you need to get on that and watch that. Next question is, how did you manage yourself in nursing school? So I was actually really scared when I first signed up for nursing school and went to orientation, because they legit told us, they were like, we do not recommend that you have a job during this at all, because it was accelerated. And I looked and I was just like, like what? Like, how are we not supposed to work? Like, make it make sense. And at the time, where was I working? I think it was either working at Steve Madden. I was working at Steve Madden and I was working like at a wax center. So I did those until I passed multidimensional care 1, because I believe after that, technically it like correlated with me being a CNA. So my school was partnered with one of the hospitals in Florida to where once we passed that class, whatever class that we needed to pass, within that first 1 to 2 semesters, then they would hire us as CNAs or techs if we wanted to get hired there. And so that's what I did, because I honestly feel like working as a tech helps you understand the content in school better. It helps you see what the nurses are doing in real life, what you'll be doing in real life. It gives you like a good base knowledge, a good base experience. So I worked as a tech on night shift, and I worked full time. Technically I was part-time, but I always picked up extra so I could have like extra money, or at the time they were giving out bonuses because it was kind of during COVID time. So the bonuses were like, I was at work, okay? And so literally I remember there would be days that I would work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I would bring my scrubs, I'd bring my school scrubs or school clothes in my car and like change at work and go straight to school and be at school for 8 o'clock, 8:30, and have to sit through like simulations or skills, and literally I would be like dozing off. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And I still work night shift to this day. I will not give up night shift until I am physically unable to do night shift. With that being said though, I do not recommend that is what you do. I recommend you get lots of sleep. And at the time I didn't even drink coffee or anything like, I never drank energy drinks or anything like that in school. So I really don't know how I did that, girl. But when I wasn't working, honestly, a lot of my time was spent doing schoolwork and studying. Like, damn near all day long, not even gonna lie. It was a lot. It was a lot of information. Was your schooling expensive? I do feel like the school that I went to was expensive because it was like a private like school. I don't remember how much exactly it cost, but I do know I was about 40K in debt after school. So there you go. I know that doesn't seem like a lot because I know people who have way more, but also I had, you know, financial aid, some grants and scholarships and things, so do apply to those because you're gonna need it. But yeah, I still feel like it's expensive, and like I feel like the debt should be cleared, honestly. When did you start looking for jobs? So when did I start looking for jobs? I started looking for jobs as soon as I got my, like, that email that you get where it's like, you're good to take the NCLEX. Yeah, as soon as I got that, I was applying. And the thing is, jobs will hire you. Like, as long as you have the okay to take your NCLEX and they know, like, okay, she's about to be a nurse or they're about to be a nurse, they'll hire you. And either you'll work as a tech until you become a nurse and pass that NCLEX, or for example, mine was, I remember I had got hired on this floor, my very first nursing job. I had got hired. I hadn't taken my NCLEX yet, but they still let me do like orientation and everything. I did everything. I actually ended up failing my NCLEX the first time. And even though I failed it, they were just like, okay, that's fine. Like, we'll just put you in the next, what do they call it? it's not an internship, a residency, a new grad nurse residency. So that's what happened. So I failed my NCLEX, and so I missed the start for, you know. So I went through orientation and everything, but obviously I missed the actual like date to start on the floor working as a nurse, because I technically wasn't a licensed registered nurse yet. So I just continued to work as a tech until I took my NCLEX again, and all they did was just push back my start date. And so yeah, it's really no biggie. How much did they start you as a new grad nurse? So I started at $28 and some change, which in Florida, I know that's on the cheaper end of what nurses make, because I know new grad nurses in other areas that make a lot more money, but I'm here in Florida, and so that's what they started us at. And that was only while we were like in our residency program though, and then once we graduated from residency, then they bumped us up, and then I also started working night shifts, so I got a night shift differential on top of that. So yeah, it all kind of just depends on your area, what shift you work, the degree that you have. There's a lot of things that go into play. New grad first day on the job must-haves. So for me, I would definitely say must-haves are gonna be comfy shoes. Okay, you're gonna be on your feet or running around all day, all night. You're gonna need comfy shoes. You're gonna need compression socks. You're going to need pens, obviously. And I actually have a Amazon storefront like list that has like a bunch of nursing things that I have, where from foldable clipboards to scissors to pen lights, like, and also it also depends on what kind of floor you work on, because some floors use more things than others, you know what I'm trying to say? Definitely a stethoscope. I'll link my Amazon storefront and click on that, and I'll show you guys like what are some nursing must-haves. Thoughts on med-surg learning wise. They try to tell you to start in med-surg for like your first year or so, just so you can get like the hang of being a nurse and seeing what it's like on a real floor. And med-surg, it has like a little bit of everything, you know? The patients are not too sick, although they can get sick. I think it just helps really build a good foundation. Would I say to start in med-surg? No. If the floor you want to work on is hiring new grads, it will take you with no experience or have internships, then go to that floor. If that's what you really want to do and you know you don't want to work in med-surg. I ended up in med-surg just because the hospital that offered residency programs for like children things at the time was just too far from where I lived, and I didn't feel like driving all that way all the time. So I took a position on a like med-surg / PCU floor. And I do feel like that did give me a good foundation, but baby, I couldn't wait to leave that floor. Like, I had signed a contract for a year, I believe, and I was literally a few days away from hitting my year, and I literally was just like, you know what? I can't do this anymore, I'm done, and I left. If you can get into the field or specialty that you want to do, then do it. Don't waste your time doing med-surg. Someone asked, what kind of nurse am I specifically? Right now, I am a pediatric emergency room nurse. And then the next question was, how did you get into your specialty? So honestly, just looking at job postings all the time, looking at what was offering internships or hiring like newer nurses or whatever the case was, and I saw a job posting at my location that they were offering for pediatric emergency room internships. And at the time, I believe I had tried to get into that hospital that was a little farther away, because now I was kind of willing to drive because I didn't want to work with adults anymore, like at all. So I was willing to do that drive, but the unit that I wanted to be on at that hospital was not available to me. So I ended up taking this job in the ER because I wanted to just be in pediatrics. Like, if I can just get my foot in the door, then I'm good. And so I got my foot in the door. I started working in the ER, and I was super scared to work in the ER because I am used to having, you know, my same patients like every day, or having like a routine. And the ER is not that. Like, you get multiple different patients throughout the day. Everything's something different. Like, you don't have the same patient every day. You don't have a schedule. You don't have, no. It's like on go, it's fast paced. And I actually ended up liking the ER more than I thought I would. And so I'm pleasantly surprised. I love what I do now. And I don't think I would ever leave pediatrics. I won't ever leave pediatrics. If I were to do anything else, it would definitely be like on the aesthetic side of things. So look out for that. Would you prefer NICU or mother baby if you were to switch specialties? Definitely the NICU. Just because like that experience I had when I had the clinicals, I just know like that's where I would want to be. So these two I'm going to answer together. Someone asks, would you recommend nursing honestly? And then, what's the best thing about nursing? So honestly, I would recommend nursing. I know there's a lot of people who get into nursing and they're like, when I was in nursing school and I was working as a tech on the floor, I would literally ask all the other nurses, like, do you enjoy being a nurse? Like, would you recommend like me continuing nursing school? And they're like, no. Like, anybody that asked me if they should be a nurse, no. And I used to be so scared because I'm like, damn, I put all this time already into school. Like, there's no way I'm stopping now. Like, am I gonna like it? Am I gonna feel how they feel? So I was shook. But I'm glad that I did it. I feel like it was worth it. I enjoy what I do right now. I feel like I am able to live comfortably. Like, the best thing about nursing to me, if you're working bedside, I feel like it's really rewarding, especially when you're helping super sick people who are appreciative of what you're doing and their family is appreciative. It feels so good. If you're getting into nursing, I say this all the time, if you're getting into nursing and you genuinely don't like to help people, why are you doing it? It makes no sense. Like, because nursing is a lot of work. Like, you're bathing these people, helping them use the bathroom, medicating them, they're crying to you, screaming to you. Like, it's a lot. It's mentally and physically draining. So you really have to enjoy what you do. Also, nursing is a very versatile field. Like, you don't have to work bedside. You can work in surgery, you can work in the PACU, you can work outpatient, you can work in home health, you can work as a school nurse, you can freaking work in tech. I don't know what exactly per se in tech, but I do know some nurses who have left bedside and they work in tech, okay? You can start your own business. You can work for like legalities of nursing or hospital stuff. It's possible. I feel like that's like one of the top reasons as well why I did nursing, because I always felt like if I am not enjoying this or whatever the case is, I can always try something else. There are so many specialties, there's so many different things that you can do. What do you love most about being a pediatric nurse? The kids, obviously. Like, so I just, don't get me wrong, adults is okay, but peds is just where it's at. Working with kids is just, kids are hilarious. They say the funniest things, and honestly, I'd rather change a baby's poopy diaper than a grown man's poopy diaper. And then honestly, half the time the parents are there, so you don't even have to change the poopy diaper. And like I said, I knew I always wanted to work with kids, so it just really brings me a lot of joy doing what I do, working with kids. Also, one of my favorite things about working in peds is that we get to wear cute peds stuff. Like, you get to wear cute little cartoon scrubs, or, you know, cute little croc gibbets and things like that. When I was working on the adult side, you wear your plain scrubs to work, and that's kind of it. Like, it was so boring. Like, I like to be cute, I like to be fun, I like to feel good and look good when I'm at work. So that's just a plus side, I guess. What is a 12-hour, 3-day-a-week like for you, and how do you typically get through it? Okay, so when I first started working as a nurse, I kind of wanted to do my 3 in a row and get them out the way. Now I'm more so like, I still do it from time to time, because sometimes I do just want to get them out the way and enjoy like my other 4 days. But sometimes I'm so tired to where I will either do 1 day, have a day off in between, and then do my other 2, or do 2 days, have a day off, and then do my other day. Because sometimes 3 in a row is just exhausting. And how do I do it? Especially working night shift, it's crazy. If I do my 3 in a row and then have my 4 days off, I might try to get my sleeping schedule back on track. But honestly, my sleeping schedule is terrible. Like, it's just terrible. And if I'm taking that 1 day off in between, then I really don't even switch back to a regular sleeping schedule, because I'm gonna be back at work like the next night. And so that 1 day off is really just kind of for resting. I don't really do much. And I don't do much on the days that I work as well. I feel like I just now started, well, yeah, I just more recently started going to the gym before going to work, and I noticed that that's really helped my energy levels and making me feel good. Making sure that I'm eating before I go to work and having snacks throughout the night. And I eat a big breakfast when I get home, and then like knock out. On the days that I don't work, that first day, obviously resting. If for the most part it's resting, but sometimes I have a lot to do, so sometimes I will just stay awake, go run my errands, and then come home and like, or not even. So sometimes I'll come home, I'll take a shower, change, go run my errands, because as long as I'm moving, like, my body be awake. It's when I'm sitting, or I finally get a second to like catch a breath or something, and then I'm like, damn, I'm tired, like I'm about to doze off. So as long as I'm moving and doing something, I'm good. That's not really the healthiest thing to do, but as a night shift nurse, you do what you gotta do. It's a little wonky at times, but I like my little night shift life. I also more recently started drinking coffee. I am now addicted to coffee. Remember how I said earlier how I never drank coffee or energy drinks before? Now I love my coffee, and I can't go to work without my coffee. Like, the girl at my Dunkin' literally knows my order by heart, and she has it ready for me. I don't even have to say anything. She's like, yep. She's just like, yep, I got you. Here you go. How do you deal with burnout and pre-shift anxiety? Okay, this is a good one, because I do be having pre-shift anxiety. My anxiety has increased a lot since starting working in nursing. But honestly, self-care and praying. And I go to therapy. Like, listen, there was a point where I wasn't praying. You don't have to pray if that's not for you, if you're not spiritual or things like that. But you definitely need an outlet, whether it's the gym, yoga, painting, doing something creative, going for a walk outside just to get the sun on your skin. Like, you need to be doing something. So I now started working out. I go to therapy, I pray. I try to do more things that bring me joy and like true happiness. I do a lot of retail therapy, which my bank account doesn't like, but it makes me happy, like, and it definitely makes everything feel worth it. You know what I'm saying? Doing more physical activities like going to the gym or going for walks and things like that definitely boosts my energy levels. basically you just want to be taking care of yourself, like truly taking care of yourself. If you feel like the job is getting too much, then maybe take a couple of days off. Maybe you need a mental health day. Maybe you really need to like chillax, get a massage, I don't know, use the day to sleep, like something. As for pre-shift anxiety, so I try to just stay positive. I know it's such like a answer, but you have to. Like, if you continue thinking like, oh my god, like anything could go wrong, this could happen, what if it's like a shit show in there, don't think about that. Think like, this night is gonna be great. I'm gonna handle everything that comes my way because I can. I'm smart enough to do this, I can do this, and I will get through this, and it will be fine. You gotta speak that positivity into your life. Speak positively and positive things will come. You think negatively, that's what you're gonna get. And I also, on the way to work, I would listen to music. I still do sometimes, but majority of the time now I'm listening to podcasts. Specifically, what's it called? There's one that I'm really into right now. It is called the Slay Girl Slay podcast. Just because my commute is not that long and these episodes are like, usually they're less than 30 minutes. And some of them are like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, like they're less than 30 minutes. And the podcast, they put me in good spirits. They put me in good moods. They make me feel good. They make my mind feel refreshed. And I feel like I'm ready to take on anything. And that's the mindset that you want to have when you're going into work. Someone asked for some advice on studying for the NCLEX. So, like I said, I failed mine the first time. And the first time I was only using UWorld. Yeah, I think I was only using UWorld and like nursing notes from school and whatnot. And I was doing lots of questions, like, you know, every day. But I guess the information wasn't really sitting with me like it should have. And so when I was studying the second time around, I used a resource called Archer Review, I believe it's called. And those questions, for some reason, I feel like the rationale that they would give, I just understood them more than I understood with UWorld. Also, the Mark Klimek lectures, they had them at YouTube at the time that I was studying for the free skis. I know some people end up having to pay for them, but they should be on YouTube. I would listen to those lectures all the time. I would play them to go to sleep. I would listen to them in the car while I was driving. So it was like in my brain, you know? And the Mark Klimek lectures were really good for when I was taking the NCLEX. I know there's a new version of the NCLEX out now. I don't know too much about that, but I used those lectures and I used Archer Review, and best resources, best thing I could have did for myself. How can I prepare for becoming a nurse as a high school student? So if you're still in high school, I would definitely say lots of volunteer work, okay? I know a lot of hospitals offer situations where you can sign up to be a volunteer, whether that's helping out in peds. I know some people have, some hospitals have like the position where you go and you like you just hold babies, like you just hold babies. But honestly, lots of volunteer, or even at nursing homes. Nursing homes is a good one to volunteer at. What else can you do? If your school offers something, because I know my school did at the time, but I didn't really, did my school offer that? They did, I feel like, but I wasn't, I don't know why. I don't know what I was doing, okay? I don't know. But I know some schools offer an option to where you can take some credits while you're in high school that will count towards your degree in college. And I would definitely say do that as well. Last few questions. This is more of a content creator question than nursing, but I'm trying to build my nursing content. Just graduated from nursing school, congratulations. Do you make content on the down low at your job, or they don't mind as long as it doesn't break HIPAA policies? So, I don't come out and be like, yeah, I make TikToks and da 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 blah blah blah. Cause like honestly, I get kind of embarrassed, like, because then everyone wants to look up your TikToks and watch them like in front of your face, and it's just like, oh, like, like, don't get me wrong, like, I love the support and all that, but it makes me so shy. Like, I don't know. It's just a weird thing for me. So I would make my content on the down low, and now the people I work with, they know that I have TikTok and things like that because I popped up on their For You pages or whatever the case is. So now everyone knows that I make TikToks. So as long as I'm not breaking any rules, like you said, not violating any HIPAA policies, you should be good, girl. And I don't, another thing, I just wouldn't say what hospital you work at specifically or anything like that, just because when you say things like that, you have to realize you're then representing like that hospital, and be extra super careful about what you post then. So just keep that in mind. What was your first big girl nursing purchase? So my first big girl nursing purchase was a, what year was it? 2023? No, we're in 2024 right now. I got Violet in 2023. So it was a 2022 Kia Forte. And that was like the first car that I got by myself. Like my other cars that I had, they were gifted to me. And they weren't cars that I wanted. It was legit like, this car is available, you need a car, here's your car kind of thing. And so this was everything to me because it was like brand new that year, like no miles type of thing. Like that was my baby, and I rode with her. I had her for a little over a year because then I was able to get my dream car, which is Miss Violet, my Jeep. But yeah, I love that Kia, and I miss her from time to time. But that was my first big girl purchase, my car. I will end it off with this question. What makes you say, I'm glad I chose this and didn't give up? I think just seeing where I am right now in life, I'm very proud of myself and everything that I have, everything that I've accomplished. And still being so young, like, cause it's just crazy. I come from a place where not a lot of people are doing good for themselves. And so to make it out of that and be what I am, and just seeing a vision of what else I could become or what's like next for me, it was definitely worth it, and I would do it all over again. Yeah. I know sometimes I feel like I can be doing so much more and I need to be doing more, but also I need to realize, like, look at where you are, look at what you've done, and really sit and enjoy it for real. Like, I feel like sometimes I'm always so quick to accomplish something and want to move on to the next thing because I'm like, no, I need to elevate, I need to get on this. But I definitely need to slow down a little and enjoy this little life that I built. Whew. That was a lot of questions. We'll end the video here. Thank you guys so much for sending all the questions. If you have any more questions, or let me know what other nursing content or content period that you guys want to see, comment down below. Please like, subscribe, turn your notifications on, all that good stuff. And just thank you so much for tuning into this video with me, and I will see you guys in the next one.